Good morning, everyone. I'm just filming my intro for what's going to be a longer collection of clips this week. I don't know how many of you know much about spinning events or the calendar for the fiber arts, because there's actually like specific things that happen throughout the year that you can participate in that are kind of fun. So coming up very soon, the 26th of June through the 18th of July is my personal favorite yearly event, and that is the Tour de Fleece. So it goes for the length of time that the Tour de France goes. As long as the cyclists are spinning, we're spinning. And the goal is whatever you want the goal to be. You set your own goal. You can join a club or a group or a team on Ravelry or on Facebook and spin along with other people. Or you can go solo and do your own thing, which is what I've been doing for the past few years because I don't really like socialization. That's not why. No, I used to be part of a few teams, but unfortunately those teams disbanded and I just never really felt like finding a new team. Anyway, this usually requires a fair amount of practice ahead of time for me, because for me, the Tour de Fleece is the one time all year that I am completely focused on production instead of anything else. Most of the year when I spin for the process because it's fun. Tour de Fleece, I focus on spinning as much of my stash as possible in that set span of time. Just how much yarn can I make? I don't care what it looks like. How much yarn can I make? So that takes some time to get used to. And also you're supposed to spin every single day of the tour, so getting into the habit of spinning every single day is a thing. So it's training season for me until June 26th. Now, in addition to the Tour de Fleece this year, I am also doing something that has completely opposite aims, but overlaps quite a bit. So the store, the Woolery, and I'll link to all this stuff below, is doing a spin along. Now the spin along starts June 21st, 5 days before the Tour de Fleece, and then it runs until I think August. It's 8 weeks long, so I think it's August, and it is focused on improving precision, on making yarns that are more even and getting exactly the results we want from our singles. Now, I've never really done a spin along before. I know how weird that sounds. Other than the Tour de Fleece, I've never really participated. But I do want to improve my singles, so I'm going to give it a shot. I bought the kit. I'm going to be dyeing up the kit soon, and I'll post a video about that. And it's a really big kit, actually. It's 8 ounces each of Polwarth, Shetland, and BFL. I'm sorry, I'm a little froggy in the mornings. And there's just a whole thing, but you don't actually have to buy the kit to participate. So if you want to spin, but you want to spin stuff that's in your stash, you can just get the instructional booklet from the Facebook group. So I'll link to the Facebook group and into the Woolery's video about the spin along, so you can see that. As for the Tour de Fleece, I'm not going to link you anywhere specific because I'm not actually part of any group, so I can't really recommend any of them, but I will say that there are a ton of teams on Facebook and on Ravelry. So, let's get started. I do need to work on actually spinning on the days I work. So like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, I do, work a real job. And it is pretty tiring, so I don't necessarily have the energy to spin when I get home. I should try to work on spinning before I leave for work, I guess, at least a little bit, just so I can participate in the Tour de Fleece properly. I did get a lot of bobbins done. One of them's still on the wheel, so I don't have that one over here. But some of them are more textural. Like this one has a lot of sari silk in it, so it's pretty lumpy. While others are, decently even. I like this one. What I'm going to do is after I wind them off and skein them up, I'm going to, I think the term is full the yarn. So it means basically partially felting it to give it a little bit more stability, because I am leaving them all as single ply yarns. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. They're more just practice, so they'll probably end up going to my sister or something. The days that I didn't spin, I did crochet, because I crochet on my breaks at work, but you'll see the finished product at the end of the month anyways. So that's it for this week's training, and you'll see another training video soon. Thanks.